Such an overwhelming crowd. Overflowing. Fantastic. Anyone from India in this room? Good. I had dinner with an Indian national, a friend of mine, 2 nights ago. And he said that there was a delegation from Afghanistan visiting India. And one of the delegates was the Minister of Sugarcane. So the Indian counterpart asked, why do you have a Minister of Sugarcane? You don't have sugarcane in Afghanistan. And the Afghan responded, then why do you have Minister of Law in India? So anyway, thank you so much. After lunch, it's going to be a bit difficult for me to keep your attention. I'll try to keep it short and sweet and try to get through this without too much pain. Kuala Lumpur Sentral, the next generation CBD. First, a little bit about the company, MRCB. We are a construction and real estate company. That's our industry. We develop real estate in terms of townships as well as urban developments. And we construct all our buildings ourselves via the construction division, which is Malaysian MRCB Engineering Sdn Berhad. And we also have facilities management, that we manage all the buildings that we own, and third-party buildings. We also involved in construction vis-a-vis infrastructure. We own 2 concessions in the country. The most recent completed one is the one just connecting Johor Bahru to Singapore at the CIQ. We've not been able to collect toll at the moment, but so everybody's using it for free, and has been good for the public. We also found ourselves a niche in coastal engineering works, which is flood mitigation, breakwater construction, and we are at the moment doing a first 2 phases of a 1.4 billion flood mitigation of this Kuantan Pahang River, which is the biggest and largest river in the peninsula. So we're a public listed company. We listed in March 1971. Market cap now is about 2.5 billion ringgit, which is approximately a billion Sing dollars. We are the master developer of the biggest transportation hub in Kuala Lumpur in the country, and that's the subject of my presentation. Today. This is what it looks like. Kuala Lumpur Central Station, or Kuala Lumpur Sentral, the name that we fondly refer to it. That's the panorama of the buildings that has been completed within the 72-acre site in Kuala Lumpur. Location-wise, we are right just outside the Central Business District, outside the city center. So we presented a proposition to the government to build a brand new railway station, much bigger, much better, in exchange for the balance of the land of 72 acres for private development. This is what it looked like previously, and you can see that it's so unfortunate, lying dilapidated, until we came along and said that we can unlock this value. We started in 1997 as far as works are concerned, and we started with the station itself. Now, this is a pure, what we call a private-public partnership, where the taxpayers do not pay a cent for the station itself, and it's a land swap situation. We funded the whole station, the billion ringgit development, construction cost for the station, for the rights to develop the 62 acres around it. So work started, and this is what it looked like when it's completed. And the roof, I must add, won a category for the best roof design in the country. We have such things in Malaysia. So we completed this, and it is a world-class project. The designer is the late Dr. Kishore Kurokawa. He was the architect for Kuala Lumpur International Airport. Tun Mahathir, our Prime Minister at that time, said that to provide a similar architectural feel, he insisted that MRCB appointed Dr. Kishore Kurokawa to be the designer of the station, and it was the best decision that we have made, because it is a very grand, handsome-looking station, similar with a similar architectural genre to the KLIA. So, and it is connected at the time. The dedicated railway line link to KLIA was under construction, and when tourists or visitors from into Kuala Lumpur for the first time get impressed with KLIA, when they take the train 26 minutes later, they arrive in the heart of Kuala Lumpur and they see the same similar architecture. So, sense of arrival is enhanced. All roads lead to Rome. That was the phrase at one time during the time of Caesar. And in our case, all rail leads to KL Sentral, because this is the transport hub. We have 7 rail lines meeting at KL Sentral, commuters, intercity, LRTs, the monorail, every single rail line comes to KL Sentral. And this provides the superb connectivity to all parts of the country, not just the city itself. The establishment of a vibrant business community. This was what we have done. Total GFA for KL Sentral then was about 16 million square feet. We are now looking at close to 17 million square feet GFA. We have completed 7.1 million. We are constructing 9.1 million square feet, leaving another 3 million to go, which is the last lot available in Kuala Lumpur. The CBD traditionally has been in Kuala Lumpur itself. Now, because of the congestion and some of the negatives that you have, we pride ourselves to lay claim that this is the next generation CBD, mainly because it's planned, it has great connectivity, it has great dispersal, it's great location, and it is a value that most investors look upon. And we have, from whence we first started in 2001, we have created values. The value appreciation has been tremendous, 2.5 times in some of our products or some of the real estate that we have sold. This essentially is the whole master plan of Kuala Lumpur Central itself. And we started with the station, of course. This is the Meridian and KL Hilton. When we started towards 1998, when we had the financial crisis, the Asian financial crisis, a very astute Japanese businessman saw the potential of a transport hub. You must imagine that there was nothing here, absolutely nothing. We're just building the station alone. And this Japanese gentleman saw the potential because he's from Japan. He saw the potential and he approached MRCB and bought a piece of land to build 2 hotels. And he built identical, the Hilton, the Meridian, and he's been minting ever since, because he has an average occupancy of 90% at any one time, and sometimes he's overbooked. That shows his astute observation as far as knowing what the transport hub can hold for real estate development. We started with that, and we then went on to our office strata that we sold. This is about 1 million square feet in total. Built in two phases, phase 1 and phase 2, of course. And at that time, we sold it at 400 ringgit per square foot. It is now changing hands. This was completed something like 7 years ago. It's now changing hands at about 800 to 900 ringgit per square foot. So you can imagine that all these chaps are laughing to the bank. Let me go through and show you in detail some of the projects that we had. This is the Plaza Sentral I was mentioning earlier. Has shown great value appreciation for all the investors there. These are sold in strata. Some institutions bought a block of buildings. Some and other smaller investors bought strata offices ranging from 5,000 to 10,000 square feet. We launched in total 1,000 units of condominiums. Again, the value has doubled or increased by 2.5 times, 250% increase in value, because we started at 350 ringgit per square foot. Now it's also showing 800 ringgit per square foot. So the value that has been created in KL Sentral is because of the ongoing developments that the company has carried on. This is where we are located, our office, One Central office. Here we won 2 awards, FIAPC's Malaysia Property Award for the Best Office Development, and also the Grand Prix International, where we were runners-up on this one. A talking point of our office is the lifts. Operated, we don't have lift buttons or floor buttons in the lift car itself. There's a lift bank that is managed by a computer, and that computer will then collate all the requests for the various floors together and makes it more efficient. And because of that, we are able to save lifts, at the same time not compromising on the waiting time, and therefore gain a GFA for the office. 4 buildings that we completed 2 years ago. This, I would say, is a tipping point as far as the perception of KL Sentral. Previously, you can't see KL Sentral from the main roads, okay, unless you went in, and of course, people who go to the hotels would see it from there. But with this, at the side of the road, people see that there is a huge and an exciting development that's happening, manifesting in KL Sentral itself. We started green buildings about 4 years ago. This is the first platinum building accredited by Singapore's BCA Green Mark. It's platinum. We find that platinum is more, or rather we find that Singapore's BCA and now Malaysians own a GBI, Green Building Index, is more relevant to tropical climates where utility cost is what we're looking at. And for us to achieve a platinum building accreditation, that means the utility cost or consumption should be saved more than 30% than a normal building consumption. And we just completed this in January this year, and we have it's already full up to about 95% let. This building is owned by MRCB. We are letting it out, and people are quite happy with the green building. That's the first office building in the country. There are many issues leading to green. We have PV cells, which are photovoltaic cells. We have regeneration lifts. That means that the lifts as the lifts slow down, it generates power to fire some of our electrical requirements. Rainwater harvesting. We have 6 different types of glazing. When we orientate the building to prevent radiant heat from coming into the building, the depth of the building is less than 12 meters, so that maximum daylight comes in. So you save cost on lighting as far as getting the same amount of lux or lumens that is required. The atrium is not air conditioned. It is 6 stories high, and there is a gap at the roof so that the warm air will come up and dissipate and go out of the building. We have automatic louvers, which are water and wind sensitive. If the wind is too high, too strong, the louvers will close. When it rains, the louvers are water sensitive and it will close by itself. It costs us a lot of money because that's what the green points are. I would have spent less by just getting 2 guys to open and close the windows, but then again, that's for platinum requirements. For the atrium, we also have what we call a big-ass fan. The fans are huge. They are about 4 meters in diameter. Okay, and they are big, and they're called big-ass fans. Now, I'm not being rude. The name of the company is Big Ass, from Australia. So they're the manufacturers of the fan, and therefore they call it a big ass fan. So there you go. But we're very proud of this because it adds color to our development itself. CIMB Bank, I'm sure most of you have heard of CIMB Bank. They are headquartering here in KL Sentral. They are a joint venture with Singapore's Maple Tree, and we are constructing this for them. It's also a green building, a goal, and should be completed on September the 10th of this year. New Sentral, our retail mall, one of the first green malls in the country. When a company wants to invest in a retail mall, you have to really search your soul to find the location and to check the target markets and what kind of disposable incomes you're looking at and things like that. But in our case, it's a shoe-in. It is a natural requirement because of the central station itself, we have a throughput of 150,000 commuters daily. So you have an incredible captive market there, and because of this, instead of developers looking for anchor tenants and pleading with them, come and trying to justify them coming into and being the anchor tenant of a retail mall, we were the reverse. Anchor tenants came to us and we had them pitch to us what kind of value adding can they bring to our retail mall. So it was a nice nice thing to have when the tables are turned around. And this is a green development. It's about 1 million square feet GFA, and net lettable area is about 680,000 square feet. New Towers, which is next to New Sentral. New Sentral is the retail mall. New Towers are 2 tower blocks, office tower blocks that we have sold to 2 Korean investors, and we are about to complete it by end of August. And the Koreans have made a lot of money because when they bought from us, it was at 800 ringgit per square foot. Now the value is about 1,200 ringgit per square foot. So they've gained at least 30% on investment, and they're quite happy about that. And next to it is a hotel called A Loft, which brings the cue that with A Loft, which is a Starwood brand, we have 4 hotels in KL Sentral now. Within a 72-acre site, we have 4 hotels. Okay, that's. I'll come to the next one. This is another office tower next to the retail mall itself. I'm trying to get to. St. Regis. Our pride and joy, the first St. Regis in Malaysia, and it's located in KL Sentral. Service bespoke is their tagline, and we are very happy and very honored that St. Regis has decided that they can define KL Sentral a suitable location for them to place their first foot in this part of the world as far as the peninsula is concerned. St. Regis, with St. Regis, Starwood has 3 brands in KL Sentral: St. Regis, Le Méridien, and the one I mentioned earlier just now, the Loft. And with that, in addition to that, we have the Hilton. So we have 4 hotels, 3 5-star hotels and 1 6-star hotel. Fantastic. And a Loft is also a Starwood brand. Beside a Loft, next to the, how do I go back? Oh, yeah. Okay, got it. Yeah, this is the Shell building. When I first saw the architecture, it reminded me of the Pathurst building in Manhattan. But the difference is there's a bit more relief than a flat face for the Pathurst building. Ours has a bit more relief coming in and out. And next to it, that little fellow there, this chap, there's 167 service apartments that is going to be managed by Ascot of Capital Land, and we are quite happy with that. We should be seeing this service apartments coming to business by the first quarter of next year. And the reason why we located Ascot service apartment next to a Shell building, an office building, in addition to the 4 hotels that we have under construction, or that we'll have in KL Sentral, is because Shell is the main tenant of this building. They have taken up 60%. Now, Shell has lots of visitors, short stay, long stay, and to us, it's a very good synergy for Shell and its visitors to put up and stay in our service apartments, which is a studio, 1-bedroom and 2-bedroom units. What is this? This is the Ascot that I was talking to you about just now. I must speak on this a little bit longer because my retail or my sales director will be upset with me if I don't. We have just launched this 1.2 million square feet of office strata. We have seen very brisk sales. We've already reached about 800 million sales for this, with 40%, 30% remaining. This is the second office strata office that we are selling. And it is very popular. That's why we see brisk sales, because we feel that the value at 1,300 to 1,400 ringgit per square foot will appreciate in value, mainly because KL Sentral location is absolutely unique in the context of the country. And my sales director is over there, so please give him your card. He'll contact you for follow-ups. So I've come across St. Regis. This is another thing I would like to emphasize. 752 units of condominiums next to the St. Regis. It is contiguous boundary, immediate neighbors to St. Regis, so you can take advantage of the service bespoke of St. Regis for your requirements when you live in central residences. The unique thing about central residences is this. In comparison to other areas, for example, I hate to say this, KLCC, okay, where you have a slot, a space, it may be empty and you have the views, but within 3 years, 5 years, you must expect to have buildings surrounding you. So your views are cut. You'll be looking into another condominium or into another office. But in this case, in front of these two towers is our botanical gardens and the museum. So these two iconic sites in this country, in Malaysia, will never be developed. So you have a panoramic view for perpetuity or in perpetuity. So that's one of the unique advantages of this condominium in KL Sentral. So as far as the development itself, it was difficult. It required a lot of planning. It required a lot of foresight, mainly because 72 acres of land within which we have 28 railway tracks. Now, how do we manage that? With a railway track, 28 tracks covering some 400 meters, you can't have it cutting across your development. So what we did was we built over the railway track. We built a deck with an acreage of about 20 acres. It meant forward spending because when you build a deck over the railway track, and the height clearance is about 9 meters, when you build over it, you have to forward spend by building the foundations of your future towers that you will construct in the future. And that means the foundations have got to go down big and deep to support 30, 40, 50-story buildings later on. So that was a challenge that we had. We overcame it. We also, you must remember that this was 15 years ago, and the only district cooling system is available only in KLCC. And I was talking to a friend of mine just now, Petronas. It was developed by KLCC, and they had oil money. We do not have oil money. We only have sweat. So we had to be very careful with our expenses, our cash flows, but still managed to put in a DCS plant, which helped us subsequently in the years later on by giving us additional points to get our green building accreditation. So these were the challenges that we had. We have everything going for us, and I think to a large extent we have been successful in converting a dilapidated marshalling yard, which nobody wanted to look at, into a very vibrant, very effective, very valuable real estate. So the bottom line, ladies and gentlemen, is this. If you have an opportunity to develop a station, it will be successful. And taking that cue, what MRCB is doing, we are replicating this transport hub into 2 new cities, which is Penang. We're doing a Penang Sentral, and we're doing another one in Seremban. We call it Seremban Sentral. And we feel that we shall be able to replicate the success of KL Sentral, but these 2 areas do not command the value of KL, so therefore the values will be slightly lower, maybe 30% or 25% lower than Kuala Lumpur. But we are confident that it will be a success, and I put it to you that if ever you have an opportunity to develop a transport hub, do it. Thank you very much.